Hey Sudokis, I'm Drew from the crew, back with another Sudoku Crew Top 10. Today I'm joined.
Hi guys, I'm Gru associated with the crew, and my favorite movie, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, starring Matt Sloan as Plo Koon, my favorite Star Wars character.
Well said, Gru. We have a treat for you today, a video we've been wanting to make for a long time. So let's get straight into it. Our top 10 favorite Sudoku numbers. Starting
We
in,
really we really crunched the numbers on this one, Drew.
we did. Starting in the number 10 position is number 8. Now, 8 just seems like one of those numbers. It's always the number in the Sudoku that you screw up the number 8. It's always the number 8. You always put the number 8 in the
You
wrong
think it's a
slot.
3, you think it's a backwards 3, you think it's a tiny 0 on the top or bottom, and that's because 8 has two separate lines of symmetry. But don't be fooled. This 8 is an 8, and you can find one in every Sudoku.
That is true. And that's my least favorite part about 8. The fact that it is just present in all the Sudokus. Are we ready to move
It's
on the
truly awful.
number in the number 9 position?
I'm ready to move. I'm ready to move on. Let's go. Let's move on.
Alright. We have an epic build up for the number 9. And then we get to
I
see the
believe
number.
I, I believe this is Mr. Sudoku himself in the flesh.
Wow, this build up is taking a long time.
I'm very excited to see what will happen.
Me too.
What number do you think it will?
All right. The number in the number 9 position is number 4.
My God, 4. It's half as good as 8, and yet somehow better than 8. It's truly amazing.
What sucks about 4 is that there's two ways to write 4. Open 4 and closed 4. And no
I
one
hate
knows
that.
which way is correct. Why are there multiple ways
I
to
hate
write
choices.
4? It
I
just
hate options. Options are the worst. I never want to have to make a choice. I want everything to be chosen.
exactly. All right. That was a pretty cool number. But we
That
have
was a
8 other numbers that are on top of that.
I can't believe we're only 2 numbers in. I don't see how we could get any higher, right?
Agreed. Ready to find out what the
Right.
next number is?
I'm so ready.
The number in the number 8 position is. Let's wait for the animation to play out. By the way, Sadokis, if you are liking these new animations and new higher quality content, make sure to subscribe. Number 1!
Number 1. 1 is normally first place, but in this time it's 8th place. And I think that's fantastic.
Yes, like 4, 1 has some choices that come with it. The addition of the top, tail, and the addition of the bottom flat thing are all very important choices when writing number 1.
You have to make sure to include both, or else your 1 is not a 1. It's just a line. And that could be an L, that could be an uppercase I, missing both of its lines. It's very confusing. And that's why I think number 1 is so low on the list. It's just too confusing. Like, I can't handle all of these different ways to draw number 1. I get confused easily. I'm easily distracted.
7 position is number 3.
Number 3. It could also be seen as half of, but
Yeah,
it's
just like 4, but it's the superior half of 8 in my opinion.
it's the best half of 8. Like you split an 8 from top to bottom, and this is what you get. You get a 3, and you get a backwards 3. And if you flip that backwards 3, then you have two threes. That could be 33, that could be 6, or that could be an 8 all over.
Yeah, it's really weird. This number has a unique design, and I'm just loving the design here for this 3. They could have done
It's
it so
sleek,
many
it's
ways,
futuristic.
but with the curves, I'm loving the curves. They didn't have to add those curves, but they did.
It's almost like it was designed by Elon Musk. Except anyone, you don't have to be.
It's so simple yet sophisticated at the same time. Very few numbers have
3 is
achieved
the
this level.
layman.
All right.
3 is the number for the everyman. Me. Now let's go. Come on. What's the next?
Next number. The number in the number 6 position. I don't know. I am stoked because we still have, after this number, 5 numbers to go. And I just cannot wait to see some of these numbers. The number in the number 6 position is number 2. What do you have to say about number 2, Gru? I think
I'm I'm really not sure. I've never been the biggest 2 fan. 2 has always seemed like a little bit of an overrated number to me. But to be fair, it is number 6 on the list. So clearly, everybody else hates number 2 just as much as.
yeah, number 2 was kind of well, it's like that one good thing that none of us really like, but everyone likes. It's
None
like
of none of us
chocolate.
like it. None of us like it, but we have to acknowledge that it's function. It's
Yeah,
good. You know, at times like this, I like to think back to my favorite quote from Star Wars Episode 3. My favorite Star Wars. It's that scene. It's that scene where Obi-Wan says, "It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground." And Anakin says, "You underestimate my power." And then Obi-Wan says again, "Don't try it." And I think that really speaks to the essence. It
yeah,
shouldn't try anything because truly every number except 2 has the high.
yeah. Number 2 is definitely Anakin in this situation. Confident, and just arrogant, and a jerk.
And about to
Yo,
be
yo,
burned
yo, yo.
into a
This is Stu.
quadriplegic.
This is Stu, and I like two.
No, Stu.
Stu, your opinion is invalid and we'll have you put down.
All right, guys. Let's move on from this controversial topic on to the number in the number 5 position. Are you guys ready? What do you guys think this number is going to be? Just off the top of your heads.
I've always been a big fan of number 3. I was disappointed to see it so low on the list. So quite frankly, I don't care what is next because I have already lost all stakes.
That's an interesting theory. Well, let's find out. The number in the number 5 position is. You guys recognize this
Oh my god, it's
extremely long
Mr.
animation, don't you?
Sudoku. Oh, it's Mr. Sudoku himself. He's back. But I don't remember what number he had. Do you?
No! It was so long ago.
I I've lost all track of time.
Ah!
It feels like
Nine!
I've been here forever with you two.
Nine! 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 Nine!
It's number 9.
Now, 9 is like a worse 6, right? The curves are in the completely wrong place, and the hole is in the wrong place.
I completely agree. In fact, some number 9s don't have a curve at all. They have a line, like a filthy number 1.
Yeah. However, number 9 does have its appeal. If it has curves, it's sharp. Sharp curves. Very sharp curves. And if it
Very sharp curve.
doesn't have curves, it's not that sharp. It's like soft.
It's bendy,
Yeah, it almost gives it like a
curvy.
bendy look. But as you can see, just the design of this is simplistic, yet convoluted. It's like crowded with mystery, which gives it's like the the thing that grows on you over time. At first you don't like it, but then you like it. It's like Brussels sprouts. The more you eat it, the
It
more you like
grows
it.
on you, like a fungus, or perhaps a leech, draining the blood from you, but at the same time you know you didn't need that blood anymore, and you're stronger.
Yes, exactly like that. This is a mysterious number. But what can top this? Are you ready to find out?
Well, in the words of my favorite Star Wars character, Plo Koon, he doesn't say anything in the film, but I am excited to find out.
All right. The number in the number 4 position is number 6. This number is like a better number 9 because the hole's in the correct place and the curves are in the correct place.
And the number 6 is always curvy.
Yeah,
If you were to just make that line straight and give it a sharp curve like a number 9, people would look at it and say, hey, you just drew the number 9 upside down. And I think that's not fair.
or
I
a
think we
B.
need to give 6 credit for what it is.
Yeah. 6 is 9 without the flaw of the straight line. It's
It doesn't have that sharp curve. If I run my hand along the number 6, I will only be greeted by a silky smooth crust. No sharp edges that could cut and make me bleed.
yeah. On to the
Drew, are
next
you
number.
there?
The number in the number 3 position is number 7.
7!
Now,
Oh, making its grand return.
7 has lines, and you might be wondering, what a number with lines is doing so high on the list? And I have to tell you, the lines work in 7. They just work. Better than any other number. They just work.
They were. I think the real crux of 7 is that angle between the lines. Would you look at that angle? It's almost right, but it appears to be less than right. I wish there was a word for an angle that was less than right, but there is no such word. We must call it 7F.
Yeah, I agree. It's a unique angle that you don't really see that often inside your life.
You don't see it. You can't make a triangle with that angle. It would fall apart, and you would be left with nothing
Exactly.
if that.
But number 7 is unique, and it is an amazing number. The lines just work. I don't know how to explain it. Let's move on to the next number. In the number 2 position, we have. Are you ready for this,
What's the
Guru?
second best number? I wonder what it could be. What could it be?
It is number. Let's wait for this expert animation by our expert Sudoku crew animation team. Sudokis, if you are loving this, let us know. These animations are a lot of work, and we would truly love to continue this. But we can only do it with your help by smashing the like button. Number
Join our
5.
notification squad. Number 5 is the second best number, and you can easily see why.
It
It
has
seamlessly integrates a curve and an angle, not a 7-esque angle, a right.
Yes, the seamless integration is what makes 5 amazing. Having two separate components that link together and angles and curves, it makes it one of the most complex numbers. Yet looking at it, it's oddly simple. Alright, Guru,
It's
we are ready to experience the number 1, the best number in all of Sudoku. This is the moment our entire channel has been building up towards. Are you ready
huh,
for it?
Hold on, Drew. Before we get to number one, I think we owe it to our audience to recap up to this point
I
what
agree.
have been the numbers.
I
Number 10 was number 8. Number 9 was number 4. Number 8 was number 1. We're at number 1 right now. 1 was taken out, down at 8. But who made it to 1, we may never know. Number 7 was number 3, my person. Number 6 was number 2. Number 5 was number 9. Number 4 was number 6. Number 3, again, my favorite number, I love it, was number 7. And I want to highlight that number 7 was 3, but number 3 was 7. It's like poetry. Rhyme. Number 2 was number 5, and now we've made it to number 1.
Yes.
What is number 1?
I cannot wait, Gru. Get a drum roll. Alright, guys. Make sure to wait for part 2. The suspense is building, and if you want part 2, like and subscribe and let us know so we can release part 2 where we will have the number 1 best number in all of Sudoku. Right, Gru?
Yo. This is Stu with the crew. I'm crashing this vid with.
Bartholomew at the crew.
We are members of the 2 gang, and we wanted to defend our favorite number.
Yeah, I think 2 should be in the number 1 spot. I can't believe you put so many numbers ahead of it.
Yeah, you keep trashing number 2, and we cannot stand for this. 2 is basically the perfect number.
It's like 5. It has both curves and straight lines. But I think it should be up there in the number 1 spot. I can't believe you've done this.
And being the only even prime number, 2 is one of a kind.
Huh. Some interesting points. But they'll have to wait for part 2 to find out.
Yes, part 2.
Alright. Thanks for tuning in, Sudokis. If you enjoyed this video and would like more Sudoku content, make sure to smash that subscribe button and let us know you support us.